right, what's up, y'all? I'm Caitlin Leggett, your favorite journalist, digital media, washed athlete, all the things girly, and this is another episode of The Side Out. Again, I'm still figuring out what I really want to call it, but it's fine. It's fine. If y'all know, you know, I'm a former volleyball player, and I talk about volleyball and I break down volleyball games. So we about to get straight into it. I'm a North Carolina girly, so obviously we had to tap into some HBCUs, and we are going to start off with this conference rival matchup between Winston-Salem State University and Fayetteville State University. Like I said, North Carolina girly down. My mom is a Ram alum. Yeah, come on with it. I know a little something. Okay. Cool, so let's get right into it. Biggest things that I saw from this matchup. So let's start off with the head coach matchup. Head coach Krista Brown for WSSU and head coach China Hunt for FSU. One thing that I love to see is the player to coach pipeline. Both of these are former players who also have CIAA championships under their belt. So they know what it means to be a champion and what it is to make a champion. So they're bringing in some of that experience. I love to see young coaches because there's just something different. There's something fiery, something more scrappy about a young head coach, because a lot of times they're not that far removed. You know, they played just not even, maybe like 4 to 5 years ago, if that. Both of them also have staffs that have assistant volleyball coaches that are former players from their squads too. So love that. Just a lot of camaraderie there. So I think that's super cool to see. Okay, let's get into the matchup. So we're gonna start with Winston-Salem State University. This was a 5-set match and Winston did take it all. This is the first time that they have beat FSU since 2018. And they did it in their home court. Come on now. They took it on the FSU turf, on the Bronco turf. Now, if you know, you know, a lot of these rivalries, this is a conference matchup, but this is a rivalry in a sense of you get to walk around with your chest out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You get to walk in knowing you took it on their turf. Like, yeah, clock it. Shout out to them. Cool. Biggest things that I took away from the way that Winston played, negatives and positives, obviously. So let's start with the negatives. I saw a lot of miscommunication, a lot of dropped balls because two people looked at each other when somebody should have taken the ball. And I think that starts with a little bit of leadership. I'm talking specifically on that back row. So I think when it comes to liberos, they have to essentially, you know, be the quarterback of that back line, and they have to be more vocal and more dominant than anyone there. And I say that to, you know, kind of set the precedent of, hey, if you see your libero take everything, you kind of know, like, oh, you know what I'm saying? If she's not on the court, if she is not right here to get this ball, well, I need to have that same energy. I need to have that same, you know, tenacity and that same will to go get every single ball. And I think when every single person on your backcourt, every single person on the court has that mentality, there are no drop balls. None of that, babe. So yeah, I think that was just one of those, that's an unforced error, and you don't want to give away free points. So that was a big thing that we saw, a lot of just drop balls in between them. I think that also with that serve receive was not bad. It wasn't bad. I think that, honestly, I think that they serve received better than Fayetteville State. I think that there was a little bit of breakdown in terms of balls were only going to the middle of the court, which is like you would prefer the ball go to the middle of the court versus be an overpass versus, you know, not be a pass at all, just like get aced. But with that being said, they did get aced several times. I believe about 7 times throughout the entire match. But I think overall, when they did get balls up, they were to the middle of the court. So you had the opportunity to run your outside, to run your right side, but that kind of takes that middle out of there when you start passing balls off the net. I think that there were, you know, a few times where we saw them passing 3 balls, which just means that you have the opportunity to set all 3 hitters, your outside, your right side, and your middle. But like I said, not bad, but it could be more accurate. I think that there is something to be said about playing safe versus, hey, pass a dime. If you can pass a dime, put it there. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, they were playing with a back row setter, so, you know, you got to keep her off anyways, and she's a little bit of a shorter setter. But I still think that she did a great job putting up very hittable balls, that type of thing. So there is that. I don't knock that. You know, if you want to be safe rather than sorry, clearly they won the game. So, you know what I'm saying? You got it done, you got it done. If we want to talk about some of those real, you know, point leaders, that type of thing, we had Holiday Ellis with 15 kills. She was hitting off of the outside. I think that the way the commentators were talking, it sounds like they're used to seeing a little bit more production out of her. I think that I'm getting some odd text right now. I don't know what's going on. But I think that from what I saw from her, I like the way that she was able to swing high hands. I like the way that she was able to really use that 4-to-4 shot. Being on the outside in the 4 position and hitting the outside in the 4 position is very high volleyball IQ, and you have to really be able to get up and, you know, really cut that wrist to be able to hit that position. So I think she did a great job of that there as well. We also saw a lot of production out of Angelica Turnage. She had 10 kills. Shout out to her. I think she did a great job swinging. I also think we saw both of them kind of swinging from different positions on the court. I want to say I saw maybe Holiday Ellis or Angelica Turnage, one of the two, swinging out of the back row. Now, those weren't as successful, but I do like that. I do like that go get it mentality that I'm going to swing from no matter where I'm at. I'm a hitter, so that's what I'm going to do is hit. Cool. Those were some of the big things. And then also what we did notice was when it came to playing overall, they were very scrappy. They were not letting anything die if they could help it. And I think that makes obviously a point difference, but that makes a momentum difference. When you see that a team, like when a team feels like, oh, they really just can't get you, it's a little deterring. Like, yeah, I like that. One thing that I saw for both teams was the middle of the court was wide open. And one thing I hate to see is a tip. Lord, I hate to see a tip. As a former outside baby, I don't like picking up tips. My knees is bad. I don't like running through balls. I don't like diving. Yeah, with that being said though, I think that both teams used the middle of the court to their advantage, but I think we could have saw a lot more swinging from both sides. I think that the idea sometimes is that if it's a bad set, or I mean, not say a bad set, because we quick to call something a bad set when it's just like, no, we could have swung on that. I think that when it's not the set that we want, we're quick to tip something, but it's like, no, you have to figure out how to create a shot, and every shot doesn't have to be a tip. Now, I think we did do both teams, and I say we just in a sense of both teams, because there were things that I think I saw from both sides that I won't just put on one. A lot of very scrappy volleyball. They were just kind of letting the balls hit their platform, which I think is great. That's what you have to do when it comes to those hard swung balls. We saw a lot of high rolls just to kind of keep the ball in play. I like that. I would prefer that over a tip. And then, like I said, a lot of tipping in the middle. I think both sides really struggled to pick up those balls out of the middle. And then one thing that I also did see as well was both sides kind of struggling to press over on the block. And see, it matters in terms of hand placement. It matters where you place your hands when you're blocking. If you are blocking this direction, the ball is going to go that direction. If you're on the outside right side, you know, whatever, that ball is going out. Vice versa, if your hand placement is going that direction, that ball is going out. So I think that's something that I saw from both sides, that, you know, just keeping a strong blocking hand placement position, that's something that I think that both sides could definitely use some work on. Okay, getting into the Broncos, those Fayetteville Broncos, like I said, head coach China Hunt. Okay, let's get into some of those kill leaders. We have Kiara Vitoni. I apologize in advance if I'm saying your first name wrong. I'm gonna go with that last name. 22 kills. Let me tell you something. I like her. And this is why I like her. Like I said, as a hitter, I don't care where you are on the court. You're supposed to hit, babe. You're supposed to hit, and I like that. I like that about you. Okay, I'm talking about whether it was the outside, the right side, out of that right back position, out of the pipe. She swung everywhere, and she swung high hands. I think people underestimate the importance and how great it is if you can swing high hands. And I say high hands, that means that you are catching the top of the block's hands, but that ball isn't out. Because a lot of times those balls that you're hitting high hands, they have a lot of rotation on them, but they're not going straight down. They're those balls that drop at the back of the line. So even if you didn't get a full block, but you got a touch, the ball was still staying in. And I like that about her. She swung, I think, in different places on the court. We saw her going line. We saw her hitting that cross deep shot. We saw her pushing to the 4 shot. Again, very high volleyball IQ. I think that we saw placement wise, like I said before, from Holiday Ellis, and then from Vitoni, like, yeah, chef's kiss. One thing that I wish Fayetteville State would have done a lot earlier and would have continued on, because I think it was something that we saw from them in the 4th set, but they got their middles in it. Iman and Mihan Johnson, 10 kills from her, but I think we should have seen more across the board, because in the 4th set, it worked. When they set the middle, Winston wasn't scoring. Like, Winston wasn't scoring when you have that middle production in there. But you know what you have to do to set the middle? Serve receive. Yeah, let me tell you something. I think that Fayetteville State's serve receive broke down a lot. Like I said, both sides. This is one of those both sides things. It happens to every team at any point in any match. But this was one of those things that we saw where the serve receive broke down, and that affects a team a lot, actually. And so I think that we saw some great connection between the setter and the middle when it was there, but a lot of tipping out of the middle. Again, the middle of the court was open, so it's there. But if you're going to tip, there needs to be like a balance between pushing the defense back versus sucking them in. Because if you just keep sucking them in, they're going to start to anticipate that tip. So the initial thought needs to be to swing, swing, swing. And then, okay, once we got them back on the deep line, we tip. Cool. Fayetteville State served very tough. Hats off to y'all. Come to the front, get y'all flowers. 7 aces, clock it. Clock it. Listen, serving, high risk, high reward. I'm a fan of it. Now, like I said, high risk, high reward. So obviously you get that on the other side too, but 7 aces. Now, some of that I think was just Winston-Salem State not communicating well, but 7 aces is 7 aces. Do your big one. Do you hear me? One thing that I did want to see from Fayetteville State a little bit more is from their libero specifically. I think that she did a great job picking up balls, but in terms of running that back line, Jasmine Culp, like I said, I think that the libero has to be the quarterback of that back line. Now, I'm using quarterback loosely because your setter is really the quarterback. So more so, like, I need the defense. I need the libero to be the defensive head coach, actually. I need you to be back there running that line. And I think that she played a little timid. Like, I think she picked up balls well, but it didn't give, I'm running this line, these are all my balls. And that's what I want to see more of from her, because I feel like that sets the tone. That sets the tone for your defense. Like, if I know the libero got it, I'm not coming and getting in the way. But I did think that we do see that the back line relies on her, because I think there was a specific play that we saw where nobody got that setter was out, libero wasn't in, and nobody got that second ball because she wasn't there. So obviously she's running the line. I just feel like we could see her step up a little bit more. We saw some great production from Vitoni and Johnson, Amihan Johnson. Blocking wise, I think I think there's another Johnson. I apologize if I'm getting this wrong, but there was a great blocking duo that I think did a good job pressing high, strong hands, getting there, closing the block, setting the block. Great job there. And then also Simone Morris, 16 kills. She did a great job as well. I think now I have to go back and let me check before I say this, because she was given a little bit undersized hitter, and shout out to the undersized hitters. I love them. I love them down. Yeah, so I love that. Like I said, 16 kills out of her. She got really good production in. And then I think overall, FSU just kind of lost it in that terms of, like, in each set, they kind of struggled to close. And that's what we saw in that 5th set. There were a lot of points in this match where FSU was up by, you know, 5 or 6 points, and they let Winston get back in it. Those are the things where you have to close it out. If you have to set or dump, babe. Wrap it up, because you don't have time to play with teams. Scrappy teams will come back and shock you and surprise you. And in that 5th set, I think that's just what we saw. Winston was able to close it out a lot faster than Fayetteville State could. I think sometimes, you know, if you have more points, sometimes you can make it happen, and this was not one of those times. So you have to know you have to get it early. Volleyball is a momentum sport. I say it all the time. You got to do what you do with what you have, okay? And once you're rolling, you're rolling. So I think it was a phenomenal job by both teams. Very scrappy play. I love to see that. And if y'all want to see more, make sure you like and subscribe. Love ya. Bye. Like I said, phenomenal job by both teams. I think very scrappy volleyball. I love to see that at any point. I love to see very high volleyball IQ, you know, seeing when that middle of the court is open, those setter dumps, you know, seeing when that 4 shot is open, when that line shot is open. But I love it when teams swing. Put the ball away. Come on. All of this tipping. Now, granted, I get it. If the set is not there, if the pass is not there and the set is not there, it makes it difficult. But you as a hitter have to make a shot. You have to make the play. And I think that sometimes we just kind of cop out. We tip and we cop out. And one thing I think my coaches always used to tell me that it's lazy a lot of times. Like, it should be used a lot more sparingly than I think we do use it sometimes. But I think it was a great game on both parts. Great coaching by both coaches. We saw timeouts when they needed them, when they needed to break the momentum, when they needed to ice the server and all of that. So I think that was a really good job by both of them. I hope to see more of these matchups throughout the years, so I'm definitely gonna tap into that. But yeah, let me know what y'all want to see more of, what y'all liked, what y'all didn't like. If I got it wrong, let me know. If I got it right, let me know that too. Love ya. Like and subscribe.